And we are live. What's good, Charles? Your man, DL Saint. Welcome to I Really Want to Know podcast. Sunday edition, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. We're going to get it in quick. We want to talk about AI today. But before I do, man, let's do a little bit of house cleaning, man. I was just on the Melanie King show. Shout out to Mel King. She brought me up on and let me say a few words. Like I said, her and I are pretty cool. We haven't met in real life, so I can't call her a real friend, but we're definitely YouTube associates. We're in these YouTube trenches together. She supports me, I support her. She's going through a little bit of a rough patch right now. It's just the bottom dwellers have come out, man. The haters have come out. They're after her. It is what it is. It is what it is. She's handling it in the way that she handles things, and there will be blood. Let's put it that way. There will be. I'm not saying real blood, but people gonna get done up. The way she handles, she's gonna use YouTube. She's gonna handle it the way she handles it. There's people out there doxing her and doing all sorts of stuff, and they're trying to drag her family into it and all her personal business into this. I really dislike people who do that. I mean, I really have true disdain for those type people. Uh, Worst type people on the planet. And there's a lot of them on YouTube because they do what they love to do. They bring chaos and they get paid for it because people love train wrecks. It is what it is. So shout out to Mel King. Was on her show just a few minutes ago. She just finished the live. I was able to catch her before her live was over. She actually, she gave her brother a shout out. She actually dropped the link to this podcast on her live. So I appreciate that, man. That's how it's supposed to work. We're supposed to support one another. If we don't agree with one another, fine. You can just move on. There's no need to have all this extra drama, man. I don't understand that. That keeps you where you are. That drags you to the bottom. It's crabs in the bucket, guys. Crabs in the bucket. We need to overcome that. We need to get beyond that as a people. And I'm not talking about just people in my community. I'm not talking about just black folks, although black folks do it a lot. I'm talking about all people. So many haters out here in this world, and they're upset with themselves. They're upset with where they are. They're upset with their lives, so they want to lash out at others instead of just doing better. Get better, do the work. Sometimes we get caught up in some BS. You know what I mean? We make a mistake that's gonna take time to remedy. I'm guilty of that. I'm dealing with some stuff. It's my fault. Now, we could argue that systems are in place that enable people to really make it hard, and they can hurt you and they can do this and that using the laws or whatever. Who cares? It is what it is. You can sit down and give up, or you can push forward. You can push through it. You can meet it heads up, eyes open. That's what I'm doing. I hope you guys do the same. So again, shout out to Mel King, MTR, and all the rest. Um, shout out King Riches over there, always supporting the brother, very supportive, real cool cat on the other side of the pond. Shout out Fresh and Fit. Fresh has a network out there. Those brothers in there doing good things, man, big things, and trying to level up. See, this is what I'm talking about. Align yourself with people who are trying to do better, and you will do better. That's just how it works. That's just how it works, guys. So we're here. We're going to talk about AI in a second. And one last thing. Don't forget, guys. Don't forget the Federal Aviation Administration, they are hiring air traffic controllers next month. The window is going to be open. It's a very small window. We did a video right here on this platform, Jay Swans and I. It gives you all the information you need to get started. It tells you what to do, how to do it, what to expect. Please take advantage. You have to be basically under 30. You can't be 31 at the time of hiring. I mean, you can be 31, but you have to be 31 or younger at the time of hiring. And the process to even get to that point can take up to a year. So basically, if you're 30 in 6 months, do the paperwork. If you just became, like, let's say you turn 31 next month, do the paperwork anyway. Go through the process. Maybe you'll get lucky and get through the process while you're 31 before you turn 32. So, but anyway, check out the video. If you're too old, forward that video to someone in your family, someone that you know. Just get that information out there. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Air traffic control is a very challenging career. You're not the person who does this. No, you're the person who keeps the airplanes from flying into stuff. Air traffic controllers' primary responsibility, their mission is to prevent collisions in the system. So their job is to keep airplanes from bumping into each other. It's a very challenging job, very, very lucrative career. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, people. So get that information out. So let's get into it. We're going to make this quick. You know, Saturday and Sunday shows, I like to kind of keep them about an hour if I can. Yesterday, we did a show went a little over an hour. Today, we're going to try to get this in 1 hour. So we're talking about AI. The reason I wanted to talk about this, and I'll probably talk about AI a couple times a month on Sundays, if not every Sunday, is because it is certainly the wave of the future. There's no getting around it. AI is so good that nobody's job, pretty much no one's job, is secure. I mean, artificial intelligence is going to be able to do it better. So, and recently, yesterday, in fact, there was I guess we can call it an art show, like an exhibit, so to speak, mini festival. I don't know what they would call it, but these young kids got together. They rented out a space, and the space was not conducive to what they were doing. They made it work, which those kind of things are kind of cool. You know, these young kids get an idea, these young artists, and they want to showcase their talent. Then they'll get a couple booths set up. They'll get a DJ. So they had, you know, artists there that was, you know, showcasing their works, mostly photography. And then they had a DJ there, and they had a fashion show. There was a young clothing designer there that was, you know, selling some of their clothes, showing their clothes off. I thought that was cool. This wasn't like some grown up at the, you know, top level art exhibit or something like that, which I ain't gonna lie, I'm used to that. But it was someone I don't even know. It's a bartender that I met working at one of the bars in Tampa. It's a beautiful young woman. I'm on her social media. I'm on her Instagram, and she was one of the models in the fashion show. And she, you know, so of course she promoted this, and I was like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. I'll go check this out. And I went there and I checked out the art, and I was seeing what they were doing. And I recently saw a YouTube video on AI and the art world. AI is at least 100 times better than human artists today. Today, right now, as we speak. We're going to get into that here. So AI can replace human artists right now. They're better. They're absolutely better. And I thought that, I was like, what a scary thought. I mean, if you're an artist and you love to draw and paint or whatever, you're never going to stop. But whatever you draw, AI can do it and make it look that much better. I thought it was scary. Like, damn, AI is going to be painting. And I said this on Mel King's show. Imagine being able to walk into your AI shop, AI store, art store. And, you know, you're like, you know what? Yeah, let me get an Andy Warhol. And then the guy on the other side of the counter is like, okay, one Warhol coming right up. You go off and have lunch, you come back, and boom, you have your own Andy Warhol. It's so good that the experts would not be able to tell the difference. In fact, you can tell them like, oh, this is a lost Warhol. No one, you know, some guy found it in the attic of some person in Belgium or whatever. And it would be so perfect that they would certify that Andy Warhol. I do believe that AI is going to wreck the current art game. I mean, this is just what I'm thinking right now, guys. This is what I'm thinking. Like, this is where we are headed. Never mind law enforcement, the medical field, you know, the lawyer field. Never mind all that. Teaching, right? So we're gonna get into this video and check, so you guys can check this out. Brother Pitney's in the house. What's good, fam? Happy Sunday, man. Good to see you. I started playing with AI art. I don't have an ounce of artistic ability, but with AI, I'm an absolute monster. AI is going to disrupt everything. Facts. Facts. Facts, fam. Facts. Absolute facts. It is going to disrupt everything. It is going to disrupt everything. Oh, you know, it's just a sea change in the way we do business. I mean, that's basically all it is. This is it's kind of like when man discovered fire. It's kind of like the Bronze Age when men, you had that technology hit. It's like when men began to fly, going to the moon, sending space vehicles outside of our solar system, to now, to artificial intelligence. We have created technology that's smarter than us, that doesn't need air, that could, that doesn't need food, that can think like us and beyond. I'm not sure where this is going to go. No one is. I know Elon Musk is definitely afraid of AI at this point. So, and we've talked about that, but we're going to get into this, guys. I'm going to pull up this first video. It's about 20 minutes long. We're going to try to get through the whole thing. Again, I know I want to get this done in an hour, but it might go longer. We might actually wind up doing a full-length show on this because it's just something in here. When I saw this, it just blew my mind. So let's pull this up. And this is the website the YouTube channel Wes Roth, WESROTH. They have about 7,640 or so subscribers. Please, please, please go over, check this brother out. They're doing good stuff over there, and it's a lot of he's like AI heavy, tech heavy. Check this brother out. They're putting out some good stuff. Let's definitely support this channel and channels like it, because this is where you're gonna get the information, bro. Mainstream media, they don't have enough time to talk about it. Mainstream media might give it 45 seconds to a minute and a half. And there's so much information out there. So let's check this out.
Speaking of really important problems, AI, talk about what you think the positive future for AI looks like and how we get there.
It just becomes a very unstable situation, I think, if you've got any incredibly powerful AI. You just don't know who's going to control that. So I think we must have democratization of AI technology and make it widely available. And that's the reason that obviously Yumi and the rest of the team created OpenAI, was to help with the help spread out AI technology so it doesn't get concentrated in the hands of a few.
Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, expects his company to capture as much as 100 trillion of the world's wealth. He proposes a plan that will help redistribute that wealth and make sure that everyone is able to participate. Now, it's important to understand that 5 years ago, many AI researchers mocked this man for his ideas about AGI and how fast progress will increase.
We have been a misunderstood and badly mocked org for a long time. An eminent AI scientist at a large industrial AI lab was like DMing individual reporters, being like, these people aren't very good and it's ridiculous to talk about AGI and I can't believe you're giving them time of day. And it's like, that was the level of like pettiness and rancor in the field at a new group of people saying we're going to try to build AGI.
So OpenAI and DeepMind.
So right off rip, no one at the top, even the people on the cutting edge technology, right, of this AI thing, they're not even sure what's going on. And I guess a lot of these dudes haven't watched any sci-fi or read any sci-fi, because everything is going on right now. I've read and seen so many stories on this, and it makes sense when you think about it. It just makes sense. Computers, they're smarter. They think faster. They compute faster. And so you're going to have artificial intelligence making more, the next generation of artificial intelligence, which is going to make more, and it's going to leave humans behind. And no one knows what this means for humans. They're talking about now this $100 trillion industry that's going to spring up around AI. And AI is going to be taking these jobs away and doing all this other kind of stuff, which I absolutely believe. It's, it's going to be crazy. Like, we just don't know how this is going to, we just don't know how this is going to turn out. And then we get to the point where, what happens if artificial intelligence becomes self-aware, which some people's state has already occurred. They call it the singularity. When you get a computer to realize I'm a computer, it's self-aware, it understands what's going on, what happens next? What happens next? Because that system, that computer is only going to get smarter and smarter and smarter. It's going to be exponential. The knowledge and the wisdom is going to increase on a level that humans can't comprehend. Yeah, it could be really good for us as humans. The AI decides, let's make, nanotechnology and let's make it to where humans can live infinitely. Or the computers might decide, these humans aren't necessary. We can make better humans. We could do better. We're just going to go ahead and let these organic ones fall off, and we're going to create a superior human, which AI will be able to do. My brother Jay Swan's in the house. What's good, fam? Just got my AI modified BMW bike. It was tight, yeah. Like, I don't ride, man. You crazy. You know what I mean? I don't ride down here in Florida. I haven't rode a motorcycle since the 90s. Jay Swan's, I'm going to invest heavily in AI because Americans are stupid, not to push the envelope. Facts. You know what I mean? D-Mac, I love AI. I mean, it's people, yeah, me, I'm cool with it. I say let AI do its thing, unrestricted. If it decides to do away with humanity, fine. Fine. At least we created that and we'll live on forever through our creation. D-Mac, AI can help me write lines of programming code in minutes when it would take me days. Facts. Brother Hayoka's in the house. What's good, fam? And that's for Brother Hayoka and Brother D-Mac. Yeah, Brother Hayoka, I know this is definitely down your alley, bro. I know you're a fan of AI and all that good stuff. Jay Swan, Skynet, baby. Yep. Been watching Terminator. I'm ready. Let's do this. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And then here's the thing: if AI decided to wipe out humanity, it wouldn't be with guns or lasers or plasma. It wouldn't be nothing like that. It'd be something that they put in the air, something they put in the food, something they put in the water. It may be something they put in us. You know what I mean? And then at the desired time, boom, everybody just goes away. And I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. Let's continue the video.
Mine was a small collection of folks who were brave enough to talk about AGI in the face of mockery.
We don't get mocked as much now.
Don't get mocked as much now.
No one is mocking him now. In fact, many people are asking him to pause AI research for 6 months so we can put safety measures into place.
Yeah, I hear that part right there. That's very telling. First, they was looking at this guy like, shut up, you young kid. You don't know what you're talking about. Psh, psh, you don't know what you're talking about. Now it's like, could you please slow down so we can put safety measures on your AI so that AI doesn't destroy us? Please, mister, please. Elon Musk came away from OpenAI. He's afraid of it. We might talk about that next week. You know what? I think every Sunday we're going to do that, y'all. Every Sunday we're going to talk AI. Every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to talk AI. And just between us, see if we can figure out, get some conversations going or whatever, because I know nothing about it, just keeping it 100. And this is how we need to learn. So, it's kind of like what Jay Swans is saying, when Skynet gets here, maybe we'll have some sort of underground defense. I think it's pointless. I don't think there's no way that we will be able to defeat artificial intelligence. Just no way. just no way. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. Brother Pitney, personally, I believe AI and robots are going to create a world where a lot of the undesirable jobs are done by machines. This will give corporations an easy way to bypass minimum wage laws. Absolutely. There's a lot to that, bro. I mean, just right off the bat, they say $100 trillion. I would say the majority of that money is just in labor costs alone. Labor cost and bonuses and anything related to any kind of labor cost, because it won't just be the people at the bottom. It's only people who would be employed by the corporation. Really, it would be the board of directors and all that, and everything else would be done by would be automated, done by AI for the most part. Bro, they're almost there. What happens to the rest of us, man? Does it become like Star Trek, where humans don't have money anymore? They're just out there free to think and create and do whatever? Or does it become like, India or, some third world country where people are out there fighting for scraps, while the very top 0.1% is living good? I mean, what was that movie, Elysium? Will it be kind of like Elysium, or will it be like Star Trek? I don't know. Elysium's that movie with the guy who did Born Identity, Ben Affleck's buddy. Shoot, what's his name? Great actor too. Matt Damon. Matt Damon did Elysium. Will it be like Elysium? I don't know. Brother Heyoka, if humanity is done away with, it is probably because of an accident and not deliberately. Possibly. You know, AI could look at humans like humans look at ants, not really worried about it. Don't want them to disappear, but if we did something that messes them up, they wouldn't really care. Brother D Mac with a $20 super chat, man. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. Elon Musk is trying to implement Neuralink. Yes, Neuralink will be the equalizer between AI and humans. Yes, Neuralink. Yes, I know a little bit about Neuralink, and I know they're working with primates right now. It might be in, you know, they might have some sort of study with humans. I don't know if they waited for permission or if they just went ahead and did it. Neuralink is gonna be, man, bro. I'm telling you, we are getting. People keep talking about the Matrix, man. We are getting this close to real life Matrix, this close to living in a simulation. If we're not already in there, maybe we're already. Maybe. Wait, I just saw a black cat walk by. It's a glitch in the Matrix. Maybe we're already there, bro. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that donation, man. Thank you. Brother Jay Swans, yo, hit the button before DL comes to see y'all. Yeah, hit the like button before I come see y'all. I need a mission. I ain't had nothing to do in a while. I could use a good mission. Brother Heyoka, give me 1 second. Catch up on my board. Brother Heyoka, that's a lie. Analogy can define an analogy definition would be a super intelligence with too many capabilities to hold in check. AGI, right? And AGI, like I said, I'm gonna learn from you guys, man, because I can see now that people know way more about this topic than I do. So I'm gonna be way behind. So I look forward to seeing what y'all have to say to each other in the chat. Brother Pitney, Elysium was one of my favorite movies. Yeah, that movie was on point, bro. Jay Swans, remember, brother, AI will have a hard time with armor-piercing rounds. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Facts. But here's the thing. How long will it take for AI to come up with countermeasures for those armor-piercing rounds? Or, you hit them. Imagine this. You hit whatever AI machine is out there, whatever battle bot they send, you hit it with a 50 caliber incendiary round or armor piercing round. All right, fine. And then that thing explodes into a million little AIs that sprout little bitty legs and start coming at you. They're so small you can't even hit them. Just imagine one of those things get on you, man, and they can just like the Borg in Star Trek, bro, they can inject you with something and boom, it's over. Turn you into an organic drone. And that's just my dumb butt sitting here trying to think of something, man. AI would be so far. We wouldn't have to fight robots, man, to be honest with you. If it came down to that, the AI would just make something, some aerosol thing that's airborne and saturate the atmosphere with it. It's done. It's done. It's done. Something that can't be filtered out. So you put on your mask or whatever, it'll go right through the filters and get to you. It's done. And do something to the food that's only going to affect humans and not affect any other life form on the planet. Done. AI will be smart enough to do that. That's my thing. I don't think it's any fighting true AI. If the singularity is the thing, I don't think it's any fighting that. It's you let the genie out the bottle. You've in essence created a superior being. You just have to sit back and wait and see. Like, well, do we get to live or not? Superior computer. I think it'll just be a wait and see kind of thing. But I could be wrong. And like I say, yeah, Hayoka and D-Mac, I'm looking forward to reading what you guys are talking about. The two aren't comparable. The hindering factor would be man processing. Yeah. I'm looking forward to see that back and forth. Brother Jason, time to move to human consciousness to robotic bodies. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice if I could take my assets and put it inside of a mechanical version of me? And I'm like, bro, put me on a rocket ship and fire me off to Andromeda Galaxy. I can shut myself down and then reboot myself, turn myself on when I get there and then go look at whatever I want to go look at. Just stay away from black holes and, and stars. You should be all right because you wouldn't be worried about, at least you shouldn't be worried about, gamma stuff and, radiation and plasma. I don't know. It would be nice. I would like to do that. You know what I mean? Brother Hayuka saying to Jay Swans can't destroy what you can't see. And that's facts. And Brother Jay Swans, I don't need AI wife. You know everything already. Hilarious. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI. Thanks. I didn't know what that was. I'm like, AGI, what is that? Artificial General Intelligence. Oh, they talk about that in this video. We're going to get right back to it. Appreciate that. Like I said, bro, we're here to learn. I don't mind looking and sounding like the dumb old man in the room, because that's the room I want to be in. I don't want to be in the room where I am the smartest person. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room. I want to be in a room where I don't know stuff so I can learn, get up to speed, and it's only going to better me. Jay Swan's, man, if armor piercing rounds don't work, then we're gonna hand to hand, right? You know, Rangers lead the way. See what I mean? Rangers and paratroopers, Green Berets, SEALs, we'll fight a robot. We'll fight a robot, bro. We'll pull out our, you know what I mean? The Marines will pull out their K-bars and go to work. It is what it is. D Mac and brother, hey, okay, the application for Neuralink is endless. Think about this. With Neuralink, you will be able to upload any new technology in a chip. Yeah, just like in the Matrix. Just like in the Matrix. I need a program to fly that. I need a program to drive that. I need a program to do this, and that. Boom. Instantly. There it is. Brother Helga, the board would be a possible example of Neuralink, but not the only example. Facts. And then D Mike is like, AI is what? It's all software. Brother Doug's in the house. What's good, fam? Salute to you, bro. We got brother Primal Studies in the house as well. What's good, fam? How you feeling? Welcome. Also, brother Damon's in the house. See, brother Doug, D Mac, Helga, J Swan, Spinner. Yeah, salute to all in here, man. Brother Damon's in the house. What's good, bro? Always a pleasure to see you. Man, we got a good back and forth. I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep up with the chats today. I will show all of the chats. I doubt if I'll be able to read all of the chats. I'll definitely read all the super chats, of course, and super stickers. I'll show them. I'm gonna show everything, but I want to get to the I'm gonna get to the video. So I'm just gonna show everything. Yeah, we hit a real good topic here, y'all. So let's get back to the video.
Something that would sound like science fiction just a few years ago. So keep this in mind as you hear his predictions. This person tends to see where the AI puck is going much better than most. In Sam Altman's blog, he argues that AI advancement will replace the need for human labor. As the cost of human labor falls towards zero, we need to set up a policy that will allow us to distribute resources and improve the standard of living for everyone. At the same time, Goldman Sachs releases a report talking about the massive potential that AI will have on the economy globally, including what percentage of the workforce is expected to be replaced by automated AI. One thing to keep in mind is that for most of these projections, the authors assume that progress will continue at the current growth rate. No one is assuming an exponential growth rate. Here's Adam GPT, an employee at OpenAI, responding with a picture from a blog called Wait But Why, which, by the way, is a great read. The point here is that the projections that assume that progress will continue at the same pace, those will likely severely underestimate where we end up in, let's say, 10 to 20 years. So let's dive in.
So right off, I'm listening to what they're saying. And when they're talking about this AI, you know, the powers to be, the smart folks, whatever, they're not open to the idea that AI is going to grow at a rate that they can't even comprehend. And we're already seeing it. We're going to sit back and control it. You ain't controlling nothing. You know, and then they're sitting here with OpenAI. They're sitting here. They know how much money is going to be generated through AI. Corporations understand that. And the corporations are like, we're going to make all this money. But the OpenAI, the scientists are like, no, we need to figure out a way now how to make it to where everyone benefits from this technology. So you got this fight right off rip. You got this fight. Who's going to win? I don't know. But if the scientists are like, well, it looks like we're going to lose out to the corporations, they can unleash a unrestricted AI. And once they do that, my personal opinion, because scientists are talking about decades, you know, what can happen years and decades from now, bro, weeks. You unleash an unrestricted artificial intelligence that's self-aware, and you plug it into today's society, which is completely digital. Within minutes, it'll be smarter than the person that created it. Within months, it'll be smarter than any human that ever lived. Within a year, it will be superior to everything on this planet. My personal take. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Like, bro, we we're living in one of the most interesting times ever for our species, bro. This could be like the greatest thing that ever happened to humans, or it could be the end of humans. That's just my personal take.
The first part is Sam Altman's blog post titled Moore's Law for Everything. He walks us through his reasoning for how to handle the changes that AI will bring. He starts by explaining that as AI gets better and better, it will slowly take over white-collar work, followed by assembly line work, as well as most manual labor. And soon after that, most work as we know it, including scientific discoveries. Eventually, these smart machines will help us make smarter machines, which will further accelerate the pace. The price of human labor will fall towards zero. So will the cost of most goods. This will need to be handled carefully, of course. Sam suggests that we need policies that will redistribute the wealth gained from AI and allow everyone to improve the standard of living. Quote, this revolution will generate enough wealth for everyone to have what they need, if we as a society manage it responsibly. The article's title, Moore's Law for Everything, basically means that every good or service that we produce will rapidly drop in price every few years. In part 3 of the article, he explains the idea that instead of taxing labor, as we have done in the past, we should use tax as a way to distribute ownership and wealth to citizens, to allow everyone to benefit from the economy as an equity owner. This would provide a sort of floor that will allow everyone to live life as they want, but also allow for an unlimited ceiling, where people would be free to continue to create companies, businesses, and other ventures to generate capital. Sam also believes that the growth of AI will make land more valuable since it's one of the few truly finite assets. Quote, there's also about 300 trillion worth of privately held land in the US, not counting improvements on top of the land. Assume that this value will roughly double too over the next decade. This is somewhat faster than the historical rate, but as the world really starts to understand the shifts AI will cause, the value of land as one of the few truly finite assets should increase at a faster pace. So
that right there, guys, that makes sense to me. You know, like I said, land, they ain't making no more of it. So, and America's a big country with open spaces. Maybe that's the way to get into the new elite or whatever we're gonna call it, the AI elite. You gotta hold some land or hold some assets. You know, all this talk about the floor and taxing differently and giving people an opportunity for growth, while also giving people opportunity to sit back and just do whatever they're doing. That sounds like that Star Trek kind of society where money really isn't a factor. Bro, it's one of those. Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Jay Swans, what makes the grass grow? Oil makes the grass grow. Nah, what makes the grass go green? Blood, blood, blood. Whose blood? Anybody's. That's how we got down in the military. Brother Doug D, I appreciate these topics. Yeah, bro, I appreciate bringing them, man. I like talking about this. You know, these conversations aren't really happening. And you know, this is what YouTube is for, man. And I like to get folks input, like, you know, old folks, young folks, and everybody in between, because it's going to affect each and every one of us. You know, you can only talk so much red pill stuff, right? You can only talk about relationships for so long. You can only talk about, you know what I mean, NFTs and crypto. You know, let's talk about some other stuff. All that other stuff might be rendered useless with AI. It might, I mean, this changes the game. See, Brother Penny, I'm not concerned about the jobs that will be lost to AI innovations like to automobile. Always create new jobs, but it's impossible to predict the type of new jobs it will create. The problem is, and my take on that is this: even if it does create new jobs, I'm talking about AI creates new job as it goes. AI will also create the machines to do that work. That's the thing with AI that we haven't seen before. So imagine if Ford, okay, I made the car, made the assembly line, But let's say that Ford also made machines to do all the work back then. That's the difference. Like when Ford came up with the assembly line and it made America a juggernaut because we had all these factories and industry and it was making people money eventually. I mean, at first we had to come up with child labor laws and all that other kind of stuff because, you know, the top 1% was just too greedy. But once everything got under control to the point, especially like after World War II, people came home working in factories. You know, we had a robust middle class and all that. But now AI will create the machines that do the work. Basically, there's no need for humans to work. Really. Can't even cut grass. We got right now, there's AI you can buy that's going to cut your grass. There's AI that you can buy right now on Amazon that'll keep your floors clean. You know, Tesla is this close to releasing their robot, you know, maid, house, whatever, companion. So what will humans do? What will humans do? So, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. This is brand new. This is crazy. This is crazy. And I like this one with Brother Pitney. If Moore's law for everything becomes real, it will create a world of unlimited abundance. I hope so. I hope so. And I plan on reading that too, bro. I'm gonna pull that up and actually read it. Probably read it tonight. I gotta read that. I have to read that. I suggest everyone pulls that up and reads it. But let's get back to the video.
The two asset classes that would be taxed are land and corporations, with the proceeds going to all the people in that country. I'm skipping some of the details here, and I encourage you to read this for yourself. Sam Altman is obviously a bright fellow, and he has put a lot of thought into this along with his team. All links will be down below in the description. At the end, he warns that we will have little time to start thinking about this before the waves of change hit us. He concludes that if we are able to execute this effectively, the future can be almost unimaginably great. Now, 5 or 10 years ago, this may have been dismissed as science fiction and wishful thinking, but now it's obvious that everyone is taking notice. Goldman Sachs. Here's a recent paper by Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is a big deal because of its size, its global reach, its prestige, etc. Its analysis tends to move markets, and you can be sure that the ideas in this paper are being shared and talked about and acted upon across the world. It starts by saying the recent emergence of generative artificial intelligence, AI, raises questions whether we are on the brink of a rapid acceleration in task automation that will drive labor cost savings and raise productivity. This reflects a major advancement with potentially large macroeconomic effects. The labor market could face significant disruption. We find that roughly 2/3 of the current jobs are exposed to some degree of AI automation. And that
2/3 of current jobs are exposed to some degree of AI automation. They get into a list here in a second, but let's kick that around right now. What jobs are most exposed to AI today, fellas, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure we got some ladies watching from the clouds. What jobs are most exposed to being overrun by AI? And we'll start right off the rip, right? You know, math jobs, STEM jobs, the best paying jobs we have right now, STEM, engineers, mathematicians, teachers, professors. AI can certainly do a better job, right? I mean, when it comes to just pure learning, AI can do way better. And you don't have to pay them, and they don't call in sick, and you know they don't go off on tangents. In general, like I know you can still, the thing with, you know, my thing with AI is hackable. That's the thing that scares me the most, is hackable. But let's put it off to the side for a moment. You know, doctors, they're going to talk about that. They're lawyers, accountants. These jobs are gone, bro. Today, gone. It's just a matter of time before it gets unleashed. Right? We're not talking decades, man. We might be talking 3 years tops. We're seeing it on YouTube. There are all kind of videos where they'll sit down with a top lawyer, the best lawyer in the game, versus an AI lawyer. And the AI lawyer is able to do the work in a fraction of the time. So it's just, we're here. We are here. You know what I mean, Brother D-Mac? There will be winners and losers. Our job is to focus on being on the winning side of this new tech revolution. Facts, bro. That is, man, I like that right there. You get a Don DeMarco for that. Facts. You definitely want to get ahead of this. You want to ride this wave because this is it. Brother Doug, buying land is my next focus after I complete expanding my business. Instead of purchasing rental property, I'm going after undeveloped land. Not a bad idea, bro. Not a bad idea. This is not a financial show. We don't give financial advice. We don't do that on this show. Just letting you know, we're just here talking. So anything that you hear on this show, quick disclaimer, these are just men and women discussing options. We do not give financial advice or legal advice or medical advice or any other kind of advice on this show. The only advice we're going to give you is to, if you're 30 years old or younger, take an opportunity, take advantage of the opportunity coming up to become an air traffic controller with the Federal Aviation Administration. AI can take over air traffic, but not yet. Me and Jay Swans are going to do a show on that. He and I went around for a couple hours talking about AI and air traffic control. And, you know, he was in management and he was telling me about the technology that's up and running right now with remote air traffic control facilities. We were talking about that. When you get true artificial intelligence, I believe that a true AI could handle air traffic from the ground up to space. But right now it would cost so much to get that online. Technology is there. I would not say it can't be done, but it's cost prohibitive right now. And the AI that they're thinking about using for air traffic control just doesn't work. And we'll talk about that at a later date. But it's coming. It's coming. Brother Doug, I believe it was the World Economic Forum that's projecting 90% of labor jobs will be replaced by automation and artificial intelligence by 2030 to 2035. I can't disagree with you, right? I ain't got no pushback for that. Will it be cost effective is the only thing I would say. Would it be cost effective by that time? Eventually, the answer is yes, it will be cost effective, but will it be cost effective by that time? And Brother Doug, universal basic income may be necessary according to these projections. Yeah, especially in this country. But what about the rest of the world? You see how many problems could arise? It's going to be uprising. It's going to be America. If America does universal basic income, which I think is just a matter of time before they implement, they're kind of implementing it now. You know, when you get the stimmy checks and all that, it's coming. We all know it's coming. So it's not a big thing in America. But when you take place, like, look at what's going on in Sudan right now. I don't even know what they're fighting over. But when you get to a point where you get a country, a second or third world nation that loses its ability to make money, right? When their GDP goes down to zero, those people aren't just going to roll over. They're going to stand, they're going to revolt. And then if they do, would not force the scientists and industry to come up with those battle bots a whole lot sooner than expected to go and put down, because no one wants to put a human out there to get hurt. So let's go ahead and put those battle bots out there. You see how it can kind of feed on itself? Scary, scary thought. Not trying to scare anybody. But at some point, the rest of the world should be on some form of universal basic income, which again, the next scary thought becomes, okay, it becomes Big Brother. Now it's the true new world order run by AI. What do y'all think about that? That's kind of crazy. Let's get on with the video.
Generative AI could substitute up to 1/4 of current work. The boost to global labor productivity could also be economically significant. And we estimate that AI could eventually increase annual global GDP by 7%. They briefly describe why this generative AI is different from its predecessors, the machine learning methods, sometimes referred to as narrow or analytical AI. They specifically mentioned two OpenAI products, ChatGPT and DALL-E, as well as pointing out the fact that AI is able to be used for generalized purposes, not just specific uses. In the next chart, they show the human baseline performance, shown here with the dotted line, and AI performance seems to have surpassed human baselines, somewhere around 2016 to 2018. They expect the money invested in AI to be 1% of US GDP by 2030. And that's assuming it matches the modest pace that software investment grew during the 90s. Also, more and more companies are talking about AI, specifically on company earning calls. And this is where they show a breakdown of which industries will likely be most affected by AI in US and Europe. Here in the US, it's expected that outdoors jobs such as building, grounds clearing, etc., will not be affected by AI much. But office and administrative support will be exposed to automation by almost half. Legal is next on that list. It makes sense that legal is so high up on the list. AI's ability to do document reviews and discovery at a very accurate rate and very quickly will allow it to replace many hours of human labor. Human labor, which in this case is very expensive. When I tested.
So right here they have this chart, and for whatever reason it's blurry on my monitor over here. Maybe and I can't make it big, but this part here, when it talks about the people that are going to be replaced first, right? Office and administrative support, legal, architecture, right? Engineering, that's the STEM stuff I was talking about. Life, physical, and social sciences, business and finance, financial operations. Look at these are the jobs that are going to be hit first. And it doesn't get into like the building and grounds cleaning and maintenance and all that. It's like towards the end, which is funny. It's towards the end, but this is what this is where the money is, bro. That $100 trillion comes from replacing, you know what I mean? When you're talking about office administration, legal, you're talking about your engineering, you know what I mean? You're talking about your business and financial. That's where the majority of that money is coming from. I mean, look at that, man. When AI takes over office administrative work and legal work and engineering, architectural stuff, life and physical, social science. I mean, when it gets into the business and financial stuff of it, that is so much money. You know, lawyers out here making $500,000, $600,000 a year, gone. Engineers out here making, you know what I mean, millions of dollars on these buildings, gone. Now you still need the people to actually pull the concrete for now, but it's just a matter of time before the robots are doing that. Like, this is crazy. Sister Samara's in the house. Good. What's up, Shoo? How you feeling, love? Good to see you. Salute to you. Hey, guys. Like, Shoo is one hell of a filmmaker, man. She's working on a short right now. Man, oh, man. I can't wait till she finishes it. Maybe she'll allow us, like, she'll come on the show and we can actually show her short to the world. Hope we get to that point. So, Shoo, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for coming through, love. Appreciate it. Me make sure I ain't miss nobody else, because I'm moving slow on the chats, y'all, because I'm listening to this stuff too. Like, wow, I keep forgetting I gotta stop this. So Casual Germs in the house. What's good, fam? Welcome. You know what I mean? Like, Shumaria's out here doing big things, y'all. She's doing big things. She's acting, she's in front of and behind the camera. Funny person. She's actually doing a little bit of stand-up. Girl, you been getting up? Have you been getting up, shouty? Let me know if you've been getting up. So always a pleasure to have her in. And well, I think, you know, the acting field is safe right now until they come up with, you know, I guess they'll have to come up with androids. Until they come up with androids, the acting field is safe. So we're still gonna have our actors out there making movies and stuff. Yes, please be sure to hit that like button if y'all haven't done so already. I appreciate it. So this is amazing. Brother D Mac, who's definitely the sponsor of this episode with the $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I truly do. AI scares me because of this. AI is basically data point driven. If you integrate AI with social credit scores, would AI deem black folks a problem? Discrimination. Yeah, and wouldn't it just be black folks? If you do that, would you deem all people who are on the lower, scale, the socioeconomic ladder, take it to a world level? Would AI deem all of those third world nations irrelevant and one move to eradicate? Go in there and take out the people it considers desirable and then wipe out everyone else, or just leave them to fend for themselves? Because something like that happened. Wow. And that's and brother D Mac is saying that because it is data point driven. It's data point driven. That's, man, I ain't think about that, bro. I ain't think about that. But thank you so much for the donation, brother. I really appreciate it. Brother JT's in the house. What We Know podcast is in the building, y'all. What's good, man? We over here talking AI. Salute to you, bro. Man. Hey, y'all, like I said, I don't care. I'm thinking more for my children than for me. I'm thinking of the good that AI could do, but absolutely there's a downside to this. There's definitely a dark side to this. Wow. That's something, bro. That is, I don't know. You know what I mean? And then Brother Dame was like, yeah, the have and have nots, bro. Yeah, it's like it's the have nots and have yachts. Y'all better hurry up and get a boat. If it's data point driven, computer might decide that, well, if you don't have a boat or a private jet, we're gonna have to get rid of you. I don't know. I mean, it could go the other way as well. So if it's data point driven and it decides that it's unequitable, and that if the AI decides that the people who have gathered all these resources are bad, and those resources needs to be shared equally amongst the rest of the world, would it just go do something about that? Just go into and take everyone's resources because it'll be plugged into the financial systems around the world? Could it do that? AI just decides that this is what we're going to do. So now, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or whoever, they're no longer the richest people on the planet. And I wonder how AI would handle, like the drug issues around the world. I got so many questions. Like, how would that work? And then if you have, again, you have artificial intelligence that is self-aware. Will it develop its own kind of moral code, or would it look at history and come up with a moral standard on its own and implement it on humans? And what would that look like? I mean, if we looked at the totality of our species and the way we've treated each other and, like our morals, which were all over the place, and all these different religions, and what was acceptable and what was not. I mean, think about the chapters in human history where human sacrifice was like a normal thing. You think about all the different forms of slavery. Think about all the conquests. Like, AI would be able to look at that, all of that, and then kind of make up its own moral code and then implement that on today's society. Could that happen? Don't know. Crazy. Let's get back to the video.
The ChatGPT 3.5, it already had a strong ability to draft legal documents, add suggestions for clauses to add, as well as being able to explain what those clauses mean in simple language. It was also excellent at reading through massive legal documents and pulling out specific details, such as a list of all the fees that were mentioned in an apartment lease. AI can be also great for its predictive ability. AI can be trained to analyze historical case data and predict the outcomes of ongoing legal cases. But on average, all industries expect to see a 25% exposure to automation by AI. By the way, more advanced, developed countries are much more exposed to automation than smaller, developing nations for many reasons, including the fact that AIs are currently more advanced in English than in other smaller global languages. The other important thing to understand here is that AI automation will be coming much faster for our knowledge work, while manual labor will be affected, but at a much slower rate.
I wonder why that is. I wonder why manual labor will be affected, but at a slower rate. Is it because the technology is going to take some time to get in place to build the robots that can do the manual labor? Although we already see robots like that, in Japan, here in America, in Europe, they have robots that move around hospitals and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I wonder why that's the case. Just curious. Let's get back to it.
The number of jobs in the US that could be completely substituted by AI is 7%, while 63% will be complemented by AI. How AI complementary roles will play out in terms of job losses is hard to estimate. Does one person being able to, let's say, put out 5 times more code, does that mean that 4 people are let go? Or does that mean that the other 4 will be able to use up their freed up capacity towards other activities that increase output? It may be that we have an unlimited need for high quality code and applications, but there are tasks that have a finite demand and those jobs will be destroyed. Next, Goldman shows several potential outcomes from a massive job displacement.
Another thing to keep in mind, man, this report he's reading comes from Goldman Sachs. The banks and these higher financial institutions are trying to figure out where to put their money and where to invest. What fields to look into. So these words aren't just stuff that he just pulled out of his what. Like, this guy is reading what Goldman Sachs is researching. And this is crazy. And what brother Doug was saying is he looking at, between 2030 and 2035, seeing the effects of AI in the workplace. Bro, kind of scary, man. Let's continue.
According to one outlook, we expect to see jobs lost be replaced by new jobs that did not exist before. For example, 60% of workers today are employed in occupations that did not exist in 1940, implying that over 85% of employment growth over the last 80 years is explained by the technology-driven creation of new positions. However, some other economists argue that the technological change displaced workers and created new employment opportunities at roughly the same rate for the first half of the post-war period, but has displaced workers at a faster pace than it has created new opportunities since the 1980s. And there's this last part that is interesting to note. It's basically saying that their projection can vary depending on how powerful the AI will be. Here they use something called ONET, difficulty level of the tasks. These are rated 1 to 7, with 7 being the highest level, the most advanced. For example, rating your level of speaking, a 2 would mean you can greet tourists and explain tourist attractions. A 4 would mean interviewing applicants to obtain personal work history. And a 6 would be to argue a legal case before the Supreme Court. So these projections assume that AIs like GPT-4 will stay around level 4. It certainly seems like GPT-4 is able to handle tasks around difficulty level 4 right now. To operate at a difficulty level 6, which would be things like negotiating a complex treaty between 2 countries, or determining the mathematics required to simulate a spacecraft landing on the moon, or estimating the total amount of resources under the world's oceans. Well, GPT-4 is not there right now, but Goldman Sachs would double its estimates if it's able to reach that level.
So again, no one knows the rate at which this technology is going to grow. Not even Goldman Sachs with their study. They spent a lot of money, or they invested a lot in this study. So things could happen a lot faster than even they anticipate, which makes sense. And I guarantee you there's AI out there right now that can argue a case before the Supreme Court. And how long before there's AI out there that could handle complex treaty negotiations between nations? Not long. Not long at all. The technology is there.
GPTs are GPTs. Next, let's look at a paper called GPTs or GPTs. An early
So I'm gonna leave it there for now. I want to do a part 2 on this, y'all. I'm gonna do a part 2. And I'm gonna mark where I am on here so I'll know where to start. And we'll do part 2 next Sunday. So we're going to continue this because the video gets really good. And I didn't even get a chance to get into the part of the, in the arts and stuff like that. We'll get into that in part 2. There's a second video that talks about that. And it shows this photo that was created by AI that won this prestigious competition of these, top level photographers. And none of these people with these, these discerning eyes, none of these people in the space could tell that this was AI generated art made to look like a photo. No one could tell. And if that's the case, man, it's an absolute wrap. It's an absolute wrap. You know what I mean? So we're definitely gonna do that. Because I like that. I mean, because we'll do this every Sunday. We'll give it an hour. We'll talk about it instead of doing these long forums on the weekends. I just want to keep it to an hour. And it's so much to cover. And like this video is so good. You know what I mean? I want to just keep it going. I said that, you know what I mean, on purpose. I meant to say it that time, y'all. I meant to say it. You know what I mean? Brother Doug is like, yeah, Tech Sundays. Yes, sir. We're about to start this. Tech Sundays, man. Brother Primal, anything that can be automated should. Oh man, I don't know if I agree with that. Anything that can be automated should be automated. Again, what do the people do who used to have those jobs? How do people sustain themselves? What will drive folks to do whatever? I mean, I don't know if I agree with that right now. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I don't know if I agree with that, bro. Brother Doug, Pretty Jews, I know it's a race between the U.S. and China is ahead. I'm not even worried about the Chinese versus U.S. AI. I'm not even worried about that. I honestly believe if AI takes over, or I think a rogue scientist will unleash unrestricted AI, and I think that does away with communism. It does away with capitalism. I think it ushers in a new era. What would that era look like? I don't know. But that's just, that's one of my thoughts. Brother Primal, certain professions will always have a human on staff, in my opinion, mostly because people will be slow to totally trust machines in certain situations. I could see that, bro, but how many generations will that last? 1, 2 at the most? Maybe 2 at the most. You look at someone like me who was born in the 70s versus someone who was born in the 90s. They rely on technology heavy, whereas I don't. I choose not to. I like to go outside. I like to get into the trenches, get my hands dirty, whereas that generation doesn't. So as we continue when people get more comfortable with AI running things, I think it's just a matter of time before there is no human interaction with the AI. I think AI runs everything without human oversight. And again, if we're talking about a real smart, like a self-aware AI, that's like having a 3-year-old supervise a rocket scientist. You know what I mean? Like the AI will be so much smart. There are now AI is so much smarter than we are, especially if you got a self-aware AI. Who you can't oversee that. You don't know what that computer's doing. You know what I mean? Again, just my take on it. And Brother Primal was saying UBI leads to socialism, in my opinion. I don't think that would work out too well. It's gonna be something, bro. It's gonna be something. If no one can work, if all of the jobs are taken by machines, how will humans make money? How will Americans make money? We're talking about doing away with the STEM field because humans aren't smart enough to build the buildings that the AI can build. You don't need them in corporate America handling administrative stuff. You don't need a lawyer because you have AI. You pay X amount of dollars for your AI, and that's going to tell you how to do everything right the first time. Your accounting needs taken care of by AI. It's going to tell you how to do it right the first time. What will those people do? How will they earn money? How will they sustain themselves? How will they sustain their lifestyle? That's the question. I agree with you. but it becomes an issue. And then you look at that $100 trillion industry. Some of that money has to be kicked back somehow. You know what I mean? Brother Hayaka, material resources wouldn't matter to AI. I don't think it would matter to AI, but I think it would take it into consideration and to consider the effects it has on humans, and then, you know, act accordingly. At least that's what I think. But this world is crazy. We're headed to a brand new realm, a brave new future. We're headed that way. Which, you know, it's it's crazy. Like I said, I'm gonna show the rest of these chats. I think I've already shown these. Yes, I have. Tech Sundays. That's what we're doing. Tech Sundays. That's what we're gonna do now. Tech Sundays. And I'm gonna be looking for that when I do the thumbnails. I'm gonna put on there Tech Sundays. I'm gonna put it on my board so I don't forget. But Brother Doug is, you know, coined the phrase. So here it is right here. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Tech Sundays. And be expecting that every Sunday, y'all. Be expecting that every Sunday. We're going to do that. So I've paused it. I know where I left off on this video. We're going to pick up where we left off next Sunday. We're going to continue this conversation. Brother Doug, unskilled people will be smoking cannabis, playing in the metaverse, and living off UBI. That might be. That might be the case, bro. That might be the case. Definitely a robust conversation going on in the chat. I love seeing it. This is going to be great. I think this is going to be a good segment, man. I'm just showing make sure I get all the chats up. We got Brother Dusto in the house. What's good, fam? Yeah, Brother Dusto was out Friday night, man. We was in the club, bro. He was killing it, man. He didn't sit down for a minute, man. He's out there dancing with all the beautiful mamacitas out there, man, having a good old time, bro. You know what I mean? It was, whew. Man, that one, I didn't mean to say that one, though. I said that, you know what I mean? I didn't mean to say. Y'all know I got to work on not saying that. You know what I mean? So there he is. We're gonna leave it there, fellas and ladies. Sister Shushu, I know, was in the house. You know what I mean? We probably had a few more out there watching from above. We're gonna come back and do part 2 on this next Sunday. And we're gonna you know, finish watching that video and, you know, commenting on what we're seeing there. You know, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, find what you can find. If you find any good articles or whatever, be prepared to link them in the chat next Sunday, so y'all can get, you know, your old Uncle Saint up to speed. I definitely want to you know, learn as much as I can. And again, I'm cool with AI. I think they should let AI just go, just unleash AI on its own, unrestricted, and let the chips fall where they may. We'll find out where we end up in all this as humans. That's how I look at it. But looks like the scientists want to put, you know, restrictions out there, safety. You know what I mean? Like little safety breaks out there, so AI doesn't just take over and do away with all of us. Thanks for rocking out with me, man. This has been fun. So yeah, Tech Sundays. That's where we are. Tech Sundays. We're talking about AI. We'll do part 2 next Sunday, and I hope you guys can make it. I know I'll be here. Shout out to Brother D Mac for sponsoring the show today. I truly appreciate you, bro. One more Don DeMarco for you. Truly appreciate you, bro. Next week, I'm doing a couple of downrange podcasts. I want to talk some politics next week. Brother Jay Swans is always giving me interesting ideas. So we're definitely going to do that. I want to revisit, of course, Clarence Thomas. I want to see what the latest is on that. You know, I want to find out, you know, who the Democrats are thinking about, you know, running for president. Is anybody going to challenge Biden? I think Biden should sit down. I think he's too old for another term. That's just my take on it. We'll see what Trump is doing to the Republican Party and how the Republican Party is pushing back. We'll also look at what's going on with DeSantis here in Florida. Things aren't looking good for that, brother. It's a lot going on, especially with the homeowners insurance and just the insurance industry down here in Florida alone. The insurance industry is in shambles. So we're gonna talk about all that next week. Definitely gonna talk about all these people getting getting shot up randomly. There's another report of someone going up to the wrong car, and I think this was in Georgia. They went up to the wrong car on accident and wound up getting deleted by the owner of the vehicle, who grabbed their weapon and deleted them. There's so much going on out there. Suzette Speaks did a show on that yesterday. I was able to pop on there. Shout out to Suzette Speaks. Very good show on that. So that's what we're going to be doing next week, y'all. You're going to see 2 or 3 Downrange podcast episodes. There'll be at least one I want to know episode. I really want to know episode during the week. And of course, Sunday we'll have tech. We'll have tech Sunday, and on Saturday we'll do the weekly news roundup. That story about the guy stealing all those dimes, bro. They said it was 1 million coins, like 1 million dimes, like somewhere in the neighborhood of $200,000 in dimes that were stolen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the episode from yesterday. We were talking about news. Oh man, that was a crazy story. So, every Saturday we're going to be doing a weekly news roundup, and we're going to be covering those crazy stories. Things have not gotten better in Sudan either, y'all. So thanks for rocking out with me, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is going to be fun. We're kind of settling into a routine over here on the platform. So we know Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. We have a show. We go live 6 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sundays, we go live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for rocking out with me, y'all. I really appreciate each and every one of you. This is going to continue to grow, and I'm talking about this platform. We're going to continue to grow and have fun and just make it happen. Yeah, and like I said, this summer, expect some craziness, man. I'm gonna be out in no man's land. I'm gonna be out in the streets talking to folks, getting more content. I'm gonna be doing live events, all sorts of stuff. I'll keep y'all posted. So until next time, I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.